Hello and welcome everyone. Today's video features the Balao-class submarine USS Archerfish. The Archerfish is one of the Balao-class submarines, a large series of US Navy submarines that played a very prominent role in the Allied victory in the Pacific Ocean. The USS Archerfish was commissioned in September of 1943 and made 7 patrols during the next 2 years, charging to her account the massive Japanese aircraft carrier Shinano, the largest warship ever sunk by a submarine. So it's no coincidence that both Archerfish and Shinano are both on the PTS server, as they are both in testing and being launched at the same time. Now you can find a link to the Shinano video in the pinned comment and in the link in the top right hand corner, and I'll also leave a link in the video description below. So this is the Archerfish. So we'll start very simply by looking at the armor layout. Very basic armor on submarines, 19mm plating, and the deck is 16. The superstructure is 19. Here, 16mm. The 2 deck turrets all get 6mm of plating. These 2 deck guns, these are player controlled, we'll get to this momentarily. This ties in, of course, to the survivability, 20,200 hit points. Just a very quick look at the build. I'm using main armaments, damage control mod 3, torpedo reload, or in this case torpedo speed, torpedo mod 1, steering gears, reinforced bulkheads, and the torpedo tubes mod 2 for the actual reload time. In terms of captain build, these are the captain skills that I'm currently testing. Now if we go back, some very useful consumables: damage control party, hydrophone, submarine surveillance, 6km range, here is 8km. You get the reserve battery unit and also an engine boost consumable of 8%. Now this is also reinforced by having combat instructions, an emergency consumable readiness that you can see here will apply a massive reduction in the reload of your consumables of 90%. This fills up automatically by hitting enemy ships by 2%. Every second you are spotted, it increases by 4%. And when you hit an enemy ship with a main battery shell, it also increases by 8%. So these are the combat instructions. So we'll start with these deck guns. These fire semi-armor piercing. They are player controlled. They have a 5.5 second reload. They can rotate 180 degrees in 18 seconds. Very accurate. They have a max dispersion of 64 meters with a relatively short firing range of 6.5 kilometers. So 2 controllable deck guns firing semi-armor piercing. They have a max damage of 1800. These semi-armor piercing shells can penetrate 36mm of armor, and they have a shell speed of 792 meters per second. So 2 main deck guns. Moving to the sonar, we have reload time of 8 seconds. The duration of ping effect on a sector highlighted is 15. 20 seconds for a sector highlighted twice. Ping velocity 900 meters per second. Ping width is 20 meters, and the max range of this ping is 9 kilometers. So to the meat and bones of every submarine, Archerfish gets a torpedo rating of 32, 6 forward or bow group torpedoes, single launched, 6 533mm torpedoes. You also get 4 single-mounted stern torpedoes. You have a reload time of 21.3 seconds, 1 loader, torpedo range of 9 kilometers, a max damage of 8,500, very fast torpedoes, 93 knots. They can be detected from 2.4 kilometers, and the max damage threshold is from 3 kilometers. These are the homing torpedoes, the acoustic homing torpedoes. Archerfish also gets standard torpedoes, same reload, but a max firing range of 6 kilometers. They have improved damage of 14,967. Torpedo speed is 64 knots, and they can be detected at 1.6 kilometers. So 2 different types of torpedoes, the Mark 18, the long-range acoustic homing torpedoes, and the alternative Mark 30 for shorter range and no homing, just straight launch torpedoes. Moving to the dive capacity, USS Archerfish gets a dive capacity of 336 units. The dive capacity depletion is 1 unit per second, and the capacity recharge rate is 0.2 units per second. You also get access to the reserve battery unit for additional help when needed. In terms of maneuverability, this is surface maneuverability. The base speed without the flag is 33 knots. With the flag, 34.7. You also have access to the engine boost. This can increase your speed up to just over 43 knots. Turning circle radius of 510 meters and a rudder shift time of 3.6 seconds. This is the surface maneuverability. Once submerged, the max submerged speed is 16.8 knots. The dive plane ship time is 10 seconds, and the maximum dive and ascent speed is 3.3 meters per second. In terms of concealment, USS Archerfish gets a concealment rating of 96. This equates to a surface detection range of 5.9 kilometers by enemy ships and by enemy submarines and enemy aircraft at 2.2 kilometers. So this is the USS Archerfish, very famous in history for taking down and sinking the largest warship in history, the IGN aircraft carrier Shinano. USS Archerfish, this is the American Balao-class submarine that is currently in testing on the PTS. I hope you enjoyed this little preview video. I would like to remind you that this is a work in progress. I am not able to show you gameplay at the moment, so when that is available, I will update the channels. Make sure to hit that like and subscribe button, and make sure that notifications are enabled. Once the gameplay video is uploaded, you will be automatically notified. If you'd like to see some live gameplay, feel free to come over and visit me on Twitch. You can see the link here on screen. I look forward to seeing you all.